Good day everyone, my name is Jessica and I would like to introduce the summary of the movie Zootopia. So the movie begins as the story of a bunny from small town Bunny Borough who aspires to be a cop in Zootopia when she grows up. The story is set in an animal world where predators and prey live in harmony on the surface, but both parties experience discrimination from the other regularly. Judy then grows up and joins the Zootopia Police Academy. Judy eventually receives an opportunity to find one of the missing predators in Zootopia, Mr. Otterton. She enlists the help of a fox named Nick. With the help of this fox and assistant Mayor Bellwether, her investigation discovers a conspiracy which uncovers that the mayor had been involved in the capture of all the missing predators from the beginning. Judy and Nick conspire together and use their wits to defeat assistant Mayor Bellwether. Finally, Nick joins the police academy and graduates successfully, joining Judy in her assignments to keep Zootopia safe and sound. Next, I would like to continue with the main characters of this movie. The first main character would be Judy Hopps. Judy Hopps is the main character in this story. She is a bunny from Bunny Borough who aspires to be a cop in Zootopia when she grows up. She eventually makes it into the police force in Zootopia, and the animation follows her story as she embarks on a journey to find a missing predator and in the process unveils one conspiracy after another. The second main character would be Nick Wilde. Nick Wilde is also a significant character in this animation. He was a victim of discrimination as a predator, and he resorts to unethical ways of earning money as a result. He plays a big role in helping Judy solve the case of missing predators and savage predators. The third main character would be Mayor Lionheart. Mayor Lionheart is the mayor of Zootopia. He is the cause of the missing predators and the conspiracy of keeping savage predators captive to analyze their behavior. The fourth main character would be Assistant Mayor Bellwether. Assistant Mayor Bellwether is the assistant mayor of Zootopia. She is the mastermind behind the seemingly unexplained savage behavior of the predators. She is charged for her involvement at the end. Finally, another main character would be Chief Bogo. Chief Bogo is the chief police officer of the Zootopia Police Department. He discriminates against Judy in the beginning. He even threatens to fire Judy a few times for different reasons. He slowly grows to be fond of Judy and proud of her achievements as the story progresses. Now I would like to highlight the issues that we have discovered from the movie Zootopia. The first issue would be bully, the second issue would be conspiracy, and the third issue would be stereotypes and prejudice.
The first issue is bullying. Bullying is part of the mixed framework. In the context of this movie, bullying is considered as reparation, which is one of the 7 guiding principles of mixed framework. Reparation means an individual must act on repairing the consequences for previous wrongful acts. The example given is Judy was bullied by the fox when she was a kid. Gideon Gray slapped her face and traumatized her by saying that she can only be a stupid bunny and never a police officer. However, Gideon Gray demonstrated reparation when he apologized to Judy when he grew up. Another example of bullying was the story of Nick Wilde. He had the opportunity to enter Junior Ranger Scouts when he was 8 to 9 years old. However, because he was the only predator there, he was bullied by the others. He was ridiculed, brutally beaten, and muzzled by the other scouts for being a fox. This is because they had a prejudice that foxes were the most untrustworthy mammals. The second issue is conspiracy. Conspiracy is part of the teleological framework. Teleological frameworks focus on whether the results of the conduct of the individual is favorable or not. Conspiracy is considered as ethical egoism, which is one of the 3 sub-frameworks of teleological framework. Ethical egoism is focusing on each individual's self-interest, based on the belief that every individual should act in a way to promote himself or herself, if the net result will generate, on balance, positive rather than negative results. The first example of conspiracy is Assistant Mayor Bellwether tried to use the night howlers to make the predator savage. The purpose of this is to prove the stereotypes of the predators true, that they are vicious and deadly, and not capable of being in charge. This is so that Assistant Mayor Bellwether can take over Zootopia from Mayor Lionheart, who is also a predator, and take a high authority in Zootopia. The next example was when Judy was cheated by Nick and Finnick, who acted as his son, in the situation which Nick wants to buy ice cream for Finnick. In order to help them, Judy blackmailed Jerry, who was an employee at the ice cream cafe, by reprimanding Jerry, who was using his bear trunks to handle the food. Thus, Jerry sold ice cream to Nick. However, Nick was not buying the ice cream for his son. Their purpose was to melt the big ice cream to make smaller ice pops to sell to others. After that, they would collect the ice pop sticks, which were discarded, and sell the sticks as lumber to a mouse construction crew. The third issue is stereotypes and prejudice. Stereotypes and prejudice is part of the deontological framework, which focuses on the duty or obligation in determining whether the actions are right or wrong, as opposed to theological framework that focuses on whether the results are favorable or not. Stereotypes and prejudice are considered as contractarianism, which is one of the three sub-frameworks. Contractarianism is based on the belief that individuals agree to social contracts to be members within the society, and holds the view that membership in society comes with duties and responsibilities. An example of stereotypes and prejudice would be the case of Judy Hopps, who was a small little cute bunny who had a very big dream, in which she hoped that one day she would be able to become the first bunny police officer in a city called Zootopia. However, she faced a big challenge because she was a species that is not typically associated with such a high-stakes occupation. As Judy faced countless challenges, doubt, and discrimination from her surroundings, such as her parents and also some of the local bullies, she felt discouraged. However, eventually she managed to become a police officer. But all the other officers still has prejudice towards Judy, as no one wanted to accept her as an actual police officer. Chief Bogo was also one of the animals which disregarded Judy's impressive academy record, as he placed Judy on parking duty. This is because he was trying not to acknowledge her as a real officer due to her small size species.
Next, I would like to present some reflections and recommendations for the issues that we have found from the movie. The first issue was bullying. Bullying has become a dangerous, life-threatening epidemic because it can lead people to suicide. When you get bullied, report to someone else who can help you and immediately tell them what the bully has been saying or doing to you. Most of the bullied workers in organizations can't perform their jobs well, and their abilities are affected because they have difficulties in making decisions. This is because they often find it difficult to voice out their opinions due to fear of criticism, humiliation, embarrassment, etc. Workplace bullying would also make the worker become less motivated because they lose time due to defending themselves from the bullying instead of being productive at doing their work. The following issue is conspiracy. A conspiracy theory is an explanation of an event or situation that invokes a conspiracy by powerful actors, often political in motivation, when other explanations are more liable. Authorities can reduce conspiracy beliefs among the public by installing procedural justice principles in decision-making processes. Procedural justice can help to increase feelings of empowerment and trust, even among followers who disagree with the decision outcomes. The next issue is stereotypes and prejudice. Prejudice is defined as an unjustified attitude or opinion, normally a negative one, directed toward an individual for something the individual cannot control. Prejudice in the workplace is dangerous, causing unfair treatment of individuals and building resentment. To solve the prejudice is coping with the prejudice of others. For example, we must be open and accept ourselves. Sometimes when we feel threatened by prejudice or discrimination, we should know who we are and accept ourselves regardless of what we believe others think about us. We should identify who we can trust with our personal information and be open around these individuals. Next, we can join a group. Group solidarity can help people be more resilient against prejudice and protect against mental health issues. For example, we can join groups that can match our uniqueness, such as women groups and LGBT groups.
In conclusion, bullying is a real-world issue which needs to be discussed more often to create awareness for prevention. Conspiracy is also present in the real world and should be paid attention to by everyday people so that unlawful or harmful situations can be reduced. Finally, stereotypes and prejudice is a significant issue and exists in everyday life too.